Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, episode 5, is it? Episode 5 it is, indeed. So, in the previous episode, we met another survivor, our main hero's childhood friend named Kenichiro, Akira's old friend back from the days when Akira was still in college, was it? Part of the rugby team and whatnot. They had a touching reunion. No, wait, that was episode 4. Episode 3. No, the previous episode was when they found the girls. Yeah, that was it. Right, they managed to cross off one thing from Akira's bucket list, and that is wine and dine a stewardess. Because they managed to find 3 such stewardesses in a shopping mall, underground shopping mall, when they were looking for a big flat screen TV to play some games on, because they set up a nice city campsite kind of thing, base of operations on the roof, and their old little dinky TV was no longer enough for playing some Dark Souls or zombie shooters or whatever it was they were playing. Unfortunately, all of those girls are dead now. Because zombies. Because people other than the main cast are vulnerable and fairly easy to kill, fairly easy to transform into zombies. They don't have the plot armor. This show, so far at least, seems to be plot armor the animation, but not in a... how should I say it? Not in a bad way, right? Now that I think about it, I don't have a good way to put it. But what I mean is that our main characters live in pretty much a completely different reality from the rest of the people, right? For everybody else, for the usual citizens of the city, and perhaps even people in the whole wide world, we don't know how far spread that zombie plague is. But for the regular people, this is very much an apocalypse. This is very much like struggling to survive and most often failing at it. Meanwhile, for Akira, it's a fun slice of lifey, energetic kind of life, and that's what I mean by plot armor in this regard, where our main characters are taking part in a completely different show, in a completely different story, completely different world than your everyday average NPCs, quote unquote, of this world, secondary, tertiary background characters. So it wasn't a surprise that those girls died. It is a pity, for sure, but not so much a surprise, especially since they brought that very common trope from zombie movies where one of the survivors has been bit but hides that fact and then fucks shit up for everybody involved. That was the old man. He fucked shit up for everybody involved, pretty much exactly. Only Akira and Kenjiro managed to survive. Now, at least, thanks to talking to Akira, one of the girls realized in her last moments that, yeah, she likes what she's doing. She likes her job. It's, she didn't make a mistake. It's nice and fun and whatnot. So there's at least that. I guess, that we can find some solace in. Kenjiro also decided to start making his own, well, to start adding his own bullet points to Akira's bucket list. He didn't make his own, he usurped Akira's, and, well, usurped is probably not the best word to use here, but he started adding his items to the list as well without really asking Akira. Everything ended with, I don't know, everybody just being energetic and ready to set forth towards the next adventure, whatever it might be. And I'm assuming that's what we're gonna see in today's episode. Perhaps we will meet another member of our crew, that is Beatrix Ammerhauser, because she's the only one missing from our team. Well, technically, Shizuka, the prepper girl, still hasn't joined us, but from the opening and ending, we know that she will sooner or later, and perhaps that sooner will be now, episode 5. We'll see. Yeah, I think that does it for an intro. To see, of course, you will need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 5 of Zom 100 in 3, 2, 1, go. Flashback to childhood. He's a superhero, not just any kid. Here, have your mining helmet back. Akira, okay. Are we going to... Oh, I thought we might, like, follow with that in the episode. Maybe he playing a superhero. Maybe that's actually on his bucket list, we don't know. Become a superhero. Go around saving people and whatnot. Oh, remember my childhood dream. Right, that's what he added. And of course, someone posting a photo of their katsudon or whatever. Okay, that's something to find solace in. Hey, they have water, they have... Oh, and now he's bleaching his hair. Yep. Certainly. Especially since it's more yellow than blonde, but... I mean, anime colors. Even bleached his eyebrows. I mean, sure, go ahead. Who's to stop you? Not this society. The society has collapsed. Yep, to be a Super Sentai hero. I mean, yeah, sure. You're gonna be putting yourself in harm's way, but yeah, bash their heads in. Or is there something else? Like, I know, garlic paste kills them or something. I love this song. Really, it's such a pity that more shows don't go for like less safe choices for their openings and endings. Right? It's just fucking J-pop everywhere. Sometimes there's like an interesting intro, but then it devolves into J-pop again, right? There really isn't as many shows as there should be that have some actually cool music, some memorable piece for the intro and for the outro, for the ED and the OP. And sure, it works for like a majority of shows. J-pop doesn't really stand out when in an opening to a present day school romance. It doesn't stand out in a somewhat sci-fi show, but when I watch a fantasy medieval show and it starts with J-pop, it's like grating at this point. Oh, what do you need from the aquarium? All the fish are dead? No, not all of them. Some are still alive. Zombie shark. Okay, sure. Apparently, animals can be zombified as well. Oh, a diving suit. That's what you're here for. To have your own superhero spandex. I thought they're there for like, I know, bleach or something because maybe bleach works really well against zombies. No, they went there for some spandex. Yes, he's a zombie. This is how this situation plays out for everybody else, for the whole Japan. And then there's Akira just browsing for fucking superhero costume. You'll be safe from zombies, not safe from weirdos, though. Akira, come on. Yep, last moment. Action hero. That's actually a really nice costume. That's a surprisingly nice costume. I was expecting something much more cringy. I really was expecting something much more cringy. But this actually works surprisingly well for a superhero costume. Oh, oh, that's smart, actually. That's incredibly smart. Yes. Okay. Okay. I thought he went there to just get some spandex, but no. It's like a proper bite-resistant suit. Oh, hello. Why aren't you at your condo? Yeah, everybody's running for their lives. And Akira is like, oh, 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 she's here. Yeah, that's the chance to show off. I mean, of course it's gonna hurt. Yeah, they're not gonna break the skin, but the strength is still there. It's really a completely different show whenever Akira is on screen and whenever random bystanders are on screen. Don't you fucking take off the mask and the hood. Head protection should be like the last thing you take off when it comes to armor. You can amputate an arm, you can't amputate a head. Thankfully, a certain weirdo in a shark suit saved you. I mean, yeah, he did save people. And that's kind of one of the prerequisites to being a superhero. To being a hero in the first place, not even a super. And of course, prepared as always, looking at the map of the aquarium. Of course. She either genuinely doesn't remember him or just feigns ignorance. Don't you ever speak to me again. Right, ever the pragmatic. To a fault. I mean, yeah, kind of hits him to a T, but you didn't need to say that. Yeah? There's nobody like that nearby. Besides, maybe Kenshiro. Yeah. Well, analyze the risk for him. Oh, are we going to like merge our paths with her, then diverge again, then meet up again, then diverge again until they finally merge? Or is this going to be when they form their group? A busted pipe or something? Is that a fucking evolved shark or something? It is an evolved shark. It certainly does. Why does it have police light eyes? Okay. And the music comes in. Like, this is genuine terror, but I can't take it seriously in this show, you know? The fish are zombified as well. Put on the hood and the mask. And the Doro Doro music. Oh, okay, maybe that's what happened. The diver's legs are poking through its belly. Akira? Oh, that's strong. Yeah, not gonna be easy to open it. Nope, he's already on the job. How about working in a small group? How does that sound? There we go. Having someone to, keep you company and, how do you say it? Check your back, take your back, have your back, have your back. That's useful, isn't it? Because he's a superhero, why else? Yeah. Not everything needs a 100% pragmatic, serious answer. Exactly. Because if you don't do the things you want to do, can you really call it living in the first place? Akira knows it best. I mean, he was alive when working for that company, but he wasn't living. You could use a weapon. Yeah, she's gonna be the brains of the operation, the brains of the group. Of course he does. He's all about risk. Throw him a pipe or something for a weapon. Or a bottle to distract that great white. Oh, that was a nice smear frame. There's some amazing animation to this episode. So, fry its brains with electricity? There's some amazing animation here. Pull up your hood. Every hero needs a sidekick. His one and only bit. The one and only bit that he can do. Just strip. The power of Nakama. This episode is an amazing, not even a riff on superhero movies and superhero anime. This is like an episode of fucking Boku no Hero Academia or something. Honestly. He even kinda looks like Deku. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. Ah. And the three zombies inside are immobilized thanks to that. Put your clothes on. Besides, he was able to cross off an item from his list. And she's joining. But not with small groups. Not yet. Or perhaps... Yep. Akira is your mirror reflection. But you can learn from each other, right? Kencho kinda risked himself. Okay. A critical hit. Yep, a critical hit. Contacts. Yep. Sure. Absolutely. You will never ever meet. Shizuka Mikazuki. Let's go to the countryside. Yep. Off to Gunma. And since it's a remote village, chances are we will be able to meet Shizuka. Because chances are she'll figure it's gonna be a safe spot. Another amazing episode. This show never fails. This show never disappoints. Every single episode is a certified banger, no exceptions, so far at least, and I don't think it's going to change. I honestly don't think it's going to change. Okay, oh, no. Here, let's watch it again. Let's watch it again and discuss it some more. Yep, his childhood dream was to become a hero. This is great. People posting photos of, oh no, zombie apocalypse, so much for Osaka, 125 likes. Help, please, save us. And then there's the photo of someone's fucking Katsudon. or whatever it is. Yeah, it's Katsudon, isn't it? There's tonkatsu and shredded cabbage, so maybe not a Katsudon? I don't know. I'm not sure. This like reminds me of like Japanese artists' Twitter accounts, Twitter timelines, where it's like 70 tweets that are just one-liner text, like I ate a carrot. Then there are a few photos of food, and then somewhere in like once every 100 tweets there is like a piece of art that they post. I don't know why, but I mean I know why, and it just came to my mind because of this like random out of nowhere food photo. Self-defense force managed to isolate them in Hokkaido. Number of villages were able to seal off access tunnels, which raises a question: how do you get there yourself if those places are sealed? Gunma, Kanto's best kept secret. Let me Google Gunma real quick. Gunma, it's a Japanese prefecture in the mountains. It's a landlocked prefecture on Japan's Honshu Island. It's known for hot springs and ski areas. The small town of Kusatsu has more than 100 hot springs. That's a lot. Most famously, Yubatake, a large pool fed by steaming mineral water gushing down a wooden chute. 1,200 meters above sea level. Okay. What is Gunma known for? For onsens. Yeah, isolated. Are there bears in Gunma? A related question on Google. Sure. I mean, are there Asiatic black bears? So there are bears in Gunma. The more you know. Okay, so assuming they make it there, they're gonna be able to spend some quality time at an onsen. I was about to ask how the fuck did he manage to like keep his undercut not dyed, but probably thanks to the use of those hairpins and newspapers and stuff. Kind of like my way of saying I'm exiting the grind. Yeah. Yep. Remember my childhood dream? I'm thinking of becoming a superhero. Of course, saving those in need, being a kick-ass superhero and whatnot. I was really wondering what did he find? Did he find like a generic zombie uh, killing method, like bash their heads in, and they're gonna find the pipe, and he's gonna be the pipe hero, just bashing the zombie heads in, or maybe there's something weird, something different, like as I mentioned before, bleach. Maybe spraying them with some bleach kills them, or something along those lines. But no, apparently he figured that he can get a shark-proof suit. Shark suit. That's bite-proof. And it actually makes a lot of sense to have a bite-proof suit. I was really confused why they are at the aquarium as well, because again, I didn't know what he's looking for, and here's where the thought of maybe they're looking for bleach came in, because I guess aquariums might need to bleach their tanks, clean them with bleach or something. I'm not sure. Bleach is commonly used for treating water, so maybe. But no, they are here for the shark suit. Yeah, you can actually see legs poking out from this shark's belly, but this is a very scary prospect that animals can be zombified. You also have to ask a question, what are the limits on that? Could a colony of ants be zombified, for example? Because if it can, there's not really escaping it, right? You can zombie proof a building, you can't ant proof it. Ants will get in no matter what. Yep, a shark suit. And while they are having fun visiting an aquarium, talking about, oh, it's thrilling, doing something you're not supposed to. Oh, it's a fun feeling to do that. Hell yeah, I found my superhero suit. The regular people who are not protagonists, leads of the series, are living an absolute fucking horror. And I didn't notice her before. I was focusing on the girl on the right. I did not notice Shizuka on the left. I think that's why the girl on the right was shown so prominently, to divert our attention to the right side of the screen. That's actually a great way to do that. Like, in retrospect, Shizuka is shown here. If you were wondering, but she wasn't shown to be anywhere on the bus. Are they trying to retroactively say that, or is there some other tomfuckery going on? No, she's here, she's on the bus. You just didn't see her because you were focusing on the other side of the screen. And of course, there has to be some guy who got bitten and is starting to stir shit up. All those people are really terrified living in a horror scenario, because it is a horror scenario, and the contrast between background characters and main characters is incredibly vast in this show, and I find it to be a really good source of entertainment in this show. It's really entertaining seeing almost, again, two different shows running in parallel. Depending on whose perspective you're looking through, this show changes diametrically. I think something like that was done with Oppenheimer. I haven't seen this movie, but I recall hearing or reading that like black and white scenes are supposed to be like portrayed objectively, and scenes in color are supposed to portray what happened through Oppenheimer's eyes or something like that. It reminds me of that, and I really, really, really like that. Also, of course, reminds me of what was this show? Gakkugurashi? I think it was Gakkugurashi. Let me check that actually. I don't want to give you a wrong title. Gakkogurashi. Yep, Gakkogurashi. Exactly. Again, depending on whose perspective we're experiencing the show from, it changes 180. I I started watching Gakkogurashi and I didn't know shit about it. And when the the 180, when the switch to the perspective of another character happened, it was wild. It was impactful. And I love that more shows are doing something like that. In this case, it's kind of more in the comedic direction. Gakkogurashi is either a little unsettling or outright terrifying. This is either comedic or horrifying, so it's like a little bit up on the lightness scale, you could say. And yeah, people are dying and people are running for their lives. And here is those two dorks playing superheroes. And a tackle. Perfect rugby tackle. I'm really surprised how well how well this suit works. I'm really surprised. Usually, when there is a character in a show that says, "Oh, I want to be a superhero," and it's not a superhero show, their costume is usually incredibly cringy, like a tablecloth cape, a bike helmet with some sprayed on shapes and a wire antenna and a pair of boxing gloves or some other haphazard shit like that. This actually works, and it's great that it works. It's realistic that it works. I think that's why it works for me also, besides the fact that it just looks like a proper superhero costume. Tell me he would look out of place in Boku no Hero Academia. Or tell me, if you were to see this screenshot, tell me you wouldn't be able to be convinced that this is from a superhero anime. If you didn't know that it's from Zone 100, right? It really works in that regard aesthetically, but it also works because it's realistic. And what I mean by that is when, as I mentioned, when people in shows, in anime or usually anime, want to become superheroes and they throw together that haphazard costume, I don't feel like that's realistic. Like, if I, for example, wanted to be a superhero one day, right, I wouldn't wear a jeans, old jeans suit and strap like brushes to my arms and put a bandana on my head with feathers stuck in it, because it looks fucking ridiculous. I would be looking for some cool ways that I can create a superhero suit. I would absolutely look for some diving gear. I would look for some military gear, some biking gear, like a bike padded bike armor, for example, right? Some elbow protectors, knee protectors. That's already a decent superhero suit, right? I'd be looking into ways to like properly paint it with my decal, with my logo or whatever. So I really think that like this approach of Akira's is actually realistic. This is actually how a person who wants to be a superhero would create their costume. So it works for me on two whole planes, as an ideal and as an aesthetic. And that's great. Also, as a side note, this episode really works well if treated seriously as a superhero show episode. It's really a proper superhero show episode. It's not a riff on it. It's not a parody of it. It's an homage, if anything. But I would say that it is just a proper superhero show episode. Like, sure, a little bit of comedy here and there, but all in all, a proper serious superhero show episode. Also, I love that the like breathing, snorkeling pipe makes like this crest that Super Sentai heroes often have. He had it in his design of the superhero he wants to be as well. So it. What happened to my beard? It flipped like. Wait, can I? Oh, I can flip it like that, and I can flip it like that. Curious. Yeah, this costume really works well. The best chance to show off. And yeah, indeed, it's puncture proof, but not like force proof. For example, bulletproof vests. If you get shot wearing a bulletproof vest, it's still gonna hurt like a motherfucker because the force of the shot, the force of the bullet has to go somewhere. It's not going to pierce your skin, it's not going to puncture your organs, but you're gonna feel like you've been hit by a freight train. And it's gonna leave a bruise, absolutely. And the same goes for this suit. There's only one suit after all. Seems like an oversight on the part of this aquarium's management. You would probably want at least 2 of them. Maybe there are, but Kencho doesn't feel like looking. Probably. Managed to throw them in. Being a superhero is tough work, and we even have like this miniature brooding episode from a superhero show, right? Our main character, superhero, takes off their mask. It's raining, it's moody, it's gloomy, and they stand atop of a building or on a bridge or something, and they ruminate on their life and what it means to be a superhero, right? We even got that little bit in this single episode. You ended up being a decent hero indeed. Her, ever the pragmatic. I really thought that she's going to get into a tirade of how saving random unknown people has no benefit. It's like pragmatically wrong to do that because you should be conserving strength, yada yada yada. But no, she just devolved her speech into a psychoanalysis. And very apt psychoanalysis, actually. That he's making up for the feelings of like being inadequate, because he kind of was. He wanted to get into that industry to change the world, quote unquote, right? He wanted to make something, to work on some amazing shows, to work on some amazing, I don't know, anime, to maybe help make an adaptation of his favorite manga or, you know, something like that. People usually enter workforce with ideals like that. And they were quickly just deleted, verified by reality, and deleted, taken away from him. So now he wants to make up for it. He wasn't able to save the world with the anime. Maybe he's gonna be able to save the world as a superhero. And yeah, a good question. What is a hero? If you still can't analyze risk, you'll only lower my survivability, of course. And a shark with legs. That reminds me of a movie it's a movie I've seen once. We were by the. Where was it? I think my family and I were by a Polish seaside. I think I was back in primary school still, and for a vacation we went to visit Polish seaside, and in the evening on the TV there was a movie with a shark that was like a result of an experiment and it kept evolving. For example, it suddenly evolved the ability to breathe atmospheric air. Then it evolved like its fins into legs, and it slowly like started becoming the top predator or whatever. I think by the end of the movie, it like became even humanoid. I was looking for this movie, and let me tell you, I can't find it. I have no clue what the title was. And besides the fact that it had a shark who was evolving, and I was scared shitless as a 9-year-old kid, I don't remember anything about it. So if it rings a bell, if you recall a movie like that from early 2000s, do let me know. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But let me know in the comments or on the Discord or wherever, because I've been looking for this movie everywhere and I cannot find it. Some and the sheer terror that I can't quite take seriously because of the ridiculousness of a shark filled with zombies who punctured its belly with their legs, and thus the zombie became hexapedal. The shark became hexapedal. And even those fish seem to be zombified, and you probably want to wear that hood. There's some great faces here. I really like that, like, I think it's foreshortening effect and a little bit of a fish eye. It really adds a lot of dynamicism to the scene. Great white shark, lamniformes lamnidae. Lamniformes lamnidae, I think that's the pronunciation, kinda. I don't know. Uh-huh. And more zombies, of course. This show just jumped the shark. A pun. Actually, it would be really cool if one of the characters genuinely just jumped this shark. Preferably Akira. Some really cool animation, and I'm still unsure whether this shark is CG or not. I don't think it is, but it sometimes looks like it is. And we have another zombie. Perhaps even more dangerous than actual zombies. Because actual zombies are driven only by instinct, only by the desire to bite people and kill. Humans can be cunning. That makes them more dangerous than zombies themselves. Yep, Shizuka is still out there, and Akira doesn't wait, he just springs into action. Just like that. True superhero move. Even that, like, grasping move towards the camera. And this is like a classic. When a superhero jumps somewhere or jumps down from somewhere, you see just a half of their face and the camera kind of like moves along their body. And the music kicks in. I love this track, I love this music. And suddenly her face, her eyes especially get so much more detail. And she, always the pragmatic, Why would you go so far to do that? Why would you? Why? Why the fuck not? I want to save you, so I'm saving you. There isn't anything more to that. Yeah, if you see a cute girl, you try to get to know her. If I see someone who needs help, I want to be a hero. That's the reason. I want to sleep, I go to sleep. I want to eat, I eat. Them's the words to live by. If you die, it's all over. Yes, but if you just exist and not live, can you really say that you're alive? That's something to think over, right? Why'd you go so far to go straight for the things you want to? Because he's been depraved of those things for so long that he needs to compensate for it. That's actually a topic that I briefly went through with my therapist like yesterday, right? Compensating. He gave an example of a woman who came from a poor family, I think, and she had a bunch of psychological issues because of that, because of course, and she eventually started like buying tons of jewelry, like entire or forearms with bracelets and rings and earrings and whatnot to like satiate herself and make up for that poverty she lived in. And eventually she got satiated, she stopped wearing so much jewelry, and it helped her work through her issues. And this is very much the same case with Akira here. He's been depraved of living for so long that he wants to experience living in full, to the point of overdoing it. Yeah, yep. It's that's just that. It's similar with people who have been hospitalized for a long time or came straight out of jail or something. They also want to make up for the lost time. For example, people who I don't know, failed someone in their life, they want to make up for it by becoming martyrs for other people. We subconsciously want to make up for the things we were depraved of. That's just how we work. That's just humanity. Mm-hmm. Kencho being a true friend, scared shitless, but deciding to help regardless. Some really cool animation here. Those like rotating shots. The smears are great in this show. And in this episode, mostly. I love the detail of scraping the ceiling. That's great. Didn't have to be there, but it was. And this is an amazing frame. This is just an amazing frame. And this shark is not CG. It really isn't. It's so dynamic. The camera work, we already established that camera work in this show is on a whole another level. And the like positioning of the camera, the cuts, the shots they're making. Zombified fish just being flung out of a tank, embed themselves into a wall. It's really amazing animation. This is such a tiny little thing. I didn't notice it initially. All those fish have like sharp faces, beaks, mouths, whatever, so they embedded themselves into a wall. This is a bottom feeder or something, so it just slammed into the wall and bounced off, and then it got pierced by a sprout or something. This is great. It didn't need to be there. All of those fish could have sharp mouths, and all of them could have been embedded in the wall, but no. They gave us that little bit of comedy that many people just won't notice until they go through this episode, like frame by frame almost. Ampullae of Lorenzini. Yeah, that's how sharks work. And we can deliver current. Unfortunately, blunt damage is not something a shark suit can protect you from. But again, this is such a superhero moment. From this moment on, he's laying down on the ground. I need to buy them more time. I need to save my friends. I need to mamoru my nakamas. And here comes a nakama, helping however he can with the only comedic bit that he knows. And we have the hero rising. No! I can't give up here. I need to stand up and mamoru my fucking nakamas. What? What? You're still standing? I thought I have defeated you. No. What is a hero? What is a hero? A hero never gives up. A flashback of all the good times he had with his friends. Of all he lived through, of the person who saved him and influenced his decision to become a hero. Grit his teeth, helping hand from the sidekick or from a friend or whoever. My target is the ampullae of Lorenzini, a flashback to the past when he was just dreaming of being a superhero. And then, just frame to frame with no transition, he is a hero now. He grabs the weapon and delivers a final, prolonged, incredibly dynamic crackle thunder straight into the shark's snout. This panning, rotating shot is chef's kiss. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's the slow-mo, the stopped time, and the rotation. It's... I want a show like that. I want this to be its own individual show. I want to watch an anime with Akira's adventures as a superhero. Defeated. All that's missing right now is a shot on Akira's face as he lets off of the breath he's been taking and there's steam coming out of his mouth. This was amazing. And immediately the tension is completely stripped off with some goofy comedy that we know and love. This was probably my favorite episode so far. It really was. Out of the question, of course. I was never in sales, yeah. He doesn't know how to convince people to do anything. My top priority is to do things to avoid being a zombie, to avoid becoming a zombie. You two just want to do things before becoming a zombie. Carpe diem. Carpe diem. Right? In a situation like that, you'd never know when you're just going to be bitten. You never do. You can't know that. So might as well just make use of however much life you were left with. Could you perhaps survive this whole apocalypse by shutting yourself down in a basement with a water filter and bread? Possibly. But is it really living or just existing and surviving? And what if you cannot do that? What if, despite all your preparations, despite you giving up sweets, giving up fun, giving up anything and focusing solely and entirely on survival, you still get bitten? You depraved yourself of living only to die anyway. Right? So might as well not deprave yourself of that and keep living, keep being alive, not just existing, not just surviving. I really think they will influence each other. I really think with time, after they join forces, Akira is going to become more pragmatic. Not fully pragmatic, absolutely not, but he will start thinking a little bit more about what he's doing. And Shizuka will loosen up a little bit. She will pull out the stick out of her ass and loosen up ever so slightly. She will still be the brains of the group, don't get me wrong. She will still be pragmatic. She will still be the one to grab water bottles when they're looting a store while Akira is grabbing beer and chips, right? But she will loosen up. She will be able to sit down with all of them and down a beer and eat some chips or some mochi or whatever. And I really want to see that. I cannot wait. You still risk those precious to you to save a stranger like myself? What are you saying? You're not a stranger. You're someone precious to me now. And a critical hit. I love that little, like, hair falling from behind her ear. It's like her properness is falling apart, right? That strand was neatly tucked behind her ear, and now it's no longer so neat. Some of that composure is lost. And we have further evidence of that. She slams her shoulders, she loosens up for the first time in whoever knows how long. Then, puff of steam, a blush, and almost a change of art style. Right? Almost a change of art style. Her eyes are much different, her posture is much different. She's like from a much light-hearted show right now. She's a character from fucking Love Hina or whatever. And only then she furrows her brows again, puts the strand of hair back in place. Take, right? Keep together. Keep it together. Wherever I can find a place that's safe and sustainable, it's probably going to be wherever Akira is going, let's be honest here. And here's the contact. I wonder if you can actually scan this QR code, actually. Actually. Let's check it. Scan QR code. And no. I think I would have to like cut it out and skew it. Unless I can imitate the skewing with the angle of my phone, kinda. Nope, still doesn't want to read it. Oh well. Oh well. Maybe I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more after the show, but I don't think it's like an actual QR code. And yeah, she got the contact info of the girl she wanted to get contact info of. Another thing to cross out from his list. There isn't much risk in sharing contact information with you because I'm sure we will never ever meet again. Abso-fucking-lutely not. It is not like we are destined to meet up every time something happens. No, such a ridiculous notion. I hope I can see her again. You will. I'm sick of Tokyo. Let's go visit my parents. Direction Gunma. Next time, RV of the Dead. So this is going to be the episode when they get their RV. And they will need it because their team is growing and they can't all ride a motorcycle, right? Oh boy. uh, I was too lazy to braid my beard, and that's what I get. It just flipping out like that. Get in position, god damn it. There we go. That was my favorite episode yet. It really was. It was so much fun. I honestly can't remember when was the last time I had this much fun with a singular episode of anime. You know? Like sure, I've seen plenty of like really good episodes of really good anime. Plenty of them were really fun as well. But when it comes to just sheer fun factor, this one like takes the cake, honestly. It's not that I'm saying that, I know, Undead Girl Murder Farce is bad, or Nanatsu no Makengashi Kaisero is bad, or Helk, or any other show that I'm watching or I've been watching in the past. Absolutely not, but this is up there. This is up there. And I really hope. I think I can safely say that I know this show is going to do well. And I hope it's going to get perhaps another season. I really do. Unless they end it in a very definitive way, which might very well happen. I don't know how long the source material is. Is it still ongoing? Did it end? Are they planning to cover the entire source material in this show? I don't know that. Maybe there is a potential for another season. Maybe there isn't. I would certainly want to watch more of it. As long as they can keep the quality they've been putting out so far, I really want to see much, much more. As long as it's not a situation with like One Punch Man season 2, because that was horrendous what happened to this show. Mm-hmm. Anything else that needs to be said? One thing that came to my mind is that I really want to see Yabu react to it. He's much more knowledgeable than I when it comes to like the staff responsible for making it, when it comes to like technical aspects of animation and whatnot. So I really want to see like a much more competent analysis of it. I'm just a layman, honestly, when it comes to all of that. I can know some things, but I don't know like full technicalities. This was a treat, this episode. And I love that it could have been a spoof of a superhero show. It could have been a parody. It could have been a breakdown. It wasn't any of that. It was earnest. It was earnest, and I really appreciate it in especially in the age of endless subversions and spoofs and parodies that are all around us, everywhere, in every single series. I really appreciate something earnest, something that isn't self-deprecating, something that doesn't put the industry in a bad light. Well, besides maybe the black company Akira worked for, sure, but something that is actually earnest. It's refreshing, and it's appreciated. Yeah, it's appreciated. Uh, huh. I don't think I have anything more to say. I'm just gonna wait for another episode, or maybe I'm gonna watch it today or tomorrow. We'll see about that. I don't know if it's out yet. I heard there's been like a delay to Zone 100, but I'm not sure entirely. So we'll see. I'm gonna look it up on subs, please, and see if episode 6 is already out. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I can't really make any predictions for future episodes for the next one, besides the obvious that they are going to find the RV. Will that RV come with Beatrix or not? That remains to be seen. There hasn't really been any like overarching plot. There hasn't been a villainous doctor who released that plague onto the world or anything like that, so there isn't really anything to like follow to make predictions. So it makes no sense to even try, I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. And if you can find that shark movie, please let me know. Please do, because I would really want to watch it now that I am a fully conscious human being and I can actually understand it and remember details. And tell me, what did you guys think of this episode down in the comments below? What did you think of this episode, of my reaction? My theories, I didn't really have any, but whatever else, tell me about it in the comments. How did you like its take on superhero genre? Because I liked it really much. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. I forgot, no spoilers, don't spoil anything to me in the comments. Discord is here also in the description, you can use it to talk spoilers if you want. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Zone 100, but also Madoka Magica Rebellion, Helk, Atelier Raiza Nanatsu no Makengashi Hai Suru, and Undead Girl Murder Force, and other coming at you in the future. I also stream sometimes, so you might want to click the bell icon to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Madoka Magica Rebellion and others, and for just $1 a month you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the list of my wonderful Patreons: QB Without a Net, Fruit, Yankaiju, Dr. Escurium, MZ, Rainer, Akamancer, Marsh, Fassel, Dr. Wood, UK Ally, and Hans Peter, and you can join them without the need to become a superhero.